Welcome in everybody, Josh here, 8-Bit Goonies. Got a new little setup, going a little different angle, got some new lights in, so let's we're not gonna open a box tonight. In fact, I'm gonna do my first ever deck breakdown. So far I've been playing with a few different decks. First off, check it out, that sexy little insert. Had a really good friend of ours uh make that for me. And I've got two main decks that I'm playing right now. And I just wanted to go through my favorite deck at the moment. Yes, there is a Philosopher's Stone in there, but it is the Interrogator deck. So set that off to the side. I thought I'd just go through the deck tonight and kind of show you guys what I've been playing. And I again, I'm loving this game. I think this game is amazing. So far, I've also got the Necromancer I built. I've tried a few others, but I really, really do like the Interrogator. So I've got my sights and my uh, collection there. I'll move off to the side for now. Now, just in case you don't know, the Interrogator is it's an aggressive deck. So whenever an ally strikes an enemy avatar, what am I gonna do? Just going to. Sorry, I just set this up tonight, guys. Testing. All right. I think we're good on audio there. Um, the Interrogator is an aggressive deck. Whenever an ally strikes an enemy avatar, draw a spell unless they pay 3 life. So the name of the game is to get out very fast, get out very aggressively. Just gonna turn, what we'll do, we'll zoom you guys in just a touch there. Let's turn that on. So then we'll just go through card by card here, and I'll show you what I've got in the deck right now. If you have any suggestions, I've got a very good, thorough collection. You've seen me open a lot of boxes. I've got a lot more to go. There are a few cards I'm missing. The Morgan, the red card, obviously from Morgan, from uh, Arthurian Legends. I do need one of those. And obviously the ring I am missing. But this is a fire and air deck. Um, so I am running the Philosopher's Stone. Uh, actually, we'll go here next. So Philosopher's Stone and Ruby Core obviously gives you very good, very fast mana out of the gate. So that's very important, I find. If you can get one of those, it's fantastic on your draw. Obviously, they're not great late game, but hopefully we've got enough hand cards coming into our hand for the Interrogator. I always obviously put those onto my uh, Interrogator, and he pretty much just hangs out in base, hangs out at the starting spot. I do run 2 Elite Magellan Globes. Um, the opposite realms or opposite edges of the realm are connected. That way, I can try to sneak my attacks down the board at them. Um, you can get to them a lot faster, obviously. So, ideally, there's a few cards you'd like in your opening hand. Magellan Globe is a fantastic card early on. It's 2 mana. Um, it's a great turn to play. Earlier the better. You got to do it. I've got a 10 card collection, so I am running the full 3 toolboxes. This is a card, again, I do have a little bit of a problem with. I hate kind of the evergreen cards, the cards that go in every deck. It can be a problem if a game gets too many of those. Sorcery does not have that yet, but 3 toolboxes. They are finishers and they are answers to problems that we may have. I do run 2 Tor's Hammer Trinkets in this deck. Um, I could have a third one. I only have 2. I do have a third one, but I don't have it in the deck right now. Bearer has 1 power and it goes to your hand. we're losing a lot of creatures with this deck. You'll see as we get in there. So it's nice if you can give them a little bit of a buff, and then it's kind of a reoccurring buff. Obviously, you can keep attaching to different creatures. Um, I do have Surveillance in here. Um, he's a unique. He has Lance, and whenever Surveillance strikes an avatar, destroy that avatar's site, then burrow another minion and artifacts there. So um, it's nice if you do hit their minion or their avatar, and they have a Philosopher's Stone or any of the ramp stuff. You get rid of that; it goes underground, and then you have the Lance ability with this guy, and yeah, this is a great card if you can get on turn 4 after Magellan's Globe. Obviously, you can then hopefully strike their avatar right away. I do have Sir Lamorak as well in this deck. Those are my two multicolor cards. He has the Death Right, strike each nearby enemy. So obviously, if you can get him into their territory, start swinging early. That's fantastic. Just gonna make sure my eyesight, you guys, is going. So I'm just gonna wear these two to keep going here. Um, you get him into their area. He strikes each nearby enemy before he dies, basically, when he does die. So, again, it is whenever you strike their avatar, you do the damage. So, it is a fantastic spell I find in this deck, or creature in this deck. I do want run the one unique Blaze of Glory. An ally fights each enemy near it at any time. It doesn't die until it's done. You cast that on Lamorak, it's going to strike every nearby enemy. Then he's going to die, and he's going to do it again. Again, you get it into their territory, you get it by their avatar. We're talking multiple strikes, and then you're drawing multiple cards, or they're sacrificing 3 life. Blaze of Glory is fantastic in this deck. Um, Greater Blood Demon, I do run 2 of those. Genesis, you do lose 4 life. This is a very aggressive deck. The game goes pretty fast with Interrogator, so I don't mind sacrificing 4 life. I do actually have some life gain in this deck as well. 4 life is a lot, but for a 4 mana 6 attack creature, I think it's quite good. Um, I've had pretty good success running those, so I do run both Greater Blood Demons. Hot Wheel. I don't know if it's a fun card or if it's a good card or both. I really like Hot Wheel. I think it's awesome. Um, and this is one I can get across the board. Or if they're moving their avatar around, you can, especially if you've got the Magellan's Globe, you can go backwards with it. Or if you get it. But Hot Wheel basically on Genesis, it rolls forward 2 steps, striking another unit at each location it enters. So, you can cast it here. We're going boom, boom to hit their unit. I do run 3 Hot Wheels. Maybe it's a card I could cut for something with a charge ability. I don't know. I think it's a fun card, though. It's one of those cards that plays unique on the board. I really like that. We're going through the fire cards first, obviously. Immolation, a 4-drop, a 1 mana, um, 3 threshold card that deals 7 damage to a target minion nearby. Now, I don't have a spellcaster in this, so this does rely on Magellan's Globe or as a defensive card. So I don't know. I find 7 damage is just you can pretty much handle anything in the game. There's obviously a couple of 8 power cards that come in later. This is for earlier. I find it's a good defensive card more than anything right now. Obviously, again, Magellan Globe opens up so much. I really don't have any spellcasters in this deck, so again, it's a card that may be able to be cut, but I do like it. Now, this is a card I really like. I find it can finish the game for you when they're on death's door. But yes, Infiltrate is a fantastic card. I run both Infiltrates. Gain control of target enemy minion until it deals damage. You tap it, but it does gain stealth. So basically, it can't be targeted. It can move around the board freely. Obviously, you want to target something in their area. Uh, if you get something with one more power than they can do, then they can kill it. You can take control of it, and then at your leisure, draw a card and do some damage to them. You do need some charge minions in the deck, right? It's a fast deck. You want to get stuff out there faster. I'll show you how I'm going to get stuff. Magellan's Globe I've only shown so far, but there are other means to get over there. So I do run 3 of the Ignited. I could have 4 in the deck, I suppose, but 3 is good. It does die at the end of the turn. It's a 2 mana, 1 threshold, so it's quite easy to get out. 3 damage is decent, but it's that charge, so you can immediately cast it and do some damage. This is one of the best cards in the deck for sure. Summon fire minions to affected sites. Allied fire minions occupying affected sites have +1 power. It is Jihad. Brutal card. You get it out, you cast it right on their avatar. Not on their avatar, but on the corner of their avatar space, obviously. And then you're summoning all those fire minions are coming out right on top of them. Jihad is another option for the Magellan's Globe effect. Lesser Blood Demon, I do run the full. It's a kind of a demon deck. I've got the Greater Blood Demons and the Lesser Blood Demons. Very similar. Genesis, you lose 2 life, but it's a 2/3. I'll show you when we get into the air cards. We are going to be gaining some life back, hopefully anyway, so it's not terrible. These are just great bodies to have on the board. You get the Jihad out there, and you start throwing demons on their side of the board. Mid game you're dropping, ideally one of these hitting, drawing a card, playing another one, hitting. Just it starts to snowball pretty fast. More charge stuff. The red cap Prowries. Again, if they haven't attacked at the end of your turn, they die. I wouldn't cast them until I do have the ability to get them over there, or you've got the board established where you can get there. But ideally, and I do have other ways you can get them over there, but as we've seen, we can start casting stuff around the board, summoning stuff around the board. So I do run 2 of those. The Redmane Hyena, everybody knows Redmane. It's kind of a staple now. Banish up to 3 cards from cemeteries. If there are any demons, this becomes 1. If there are any demons, this becomes 1 and gains +2 power permanently. So you can always target your own from cemeteries. So then you've got a 2 mana 4-drop hyena that comes in. So, and you can clear out some stuff from cemeteries if it's troublesome. So I run 3 of the 3 playset those. I do have the Saracen Raiders. They're not the best card, but they do have the charge, and they may be cast to any site without enemies. That's huge. So it is a 4 mana, 2 thresholds. That's not too hard to get with this deck at all. They're 3 attack, so 4 for 3 is not great, but the fact that you can put them out there without worrying about your Magellan's Globe or your Jihad, that you can just put them. Usually there's an enemy site without a creature on it. It does happen. So you can get into their territory pretty quick with those guys. So I do run 3 of those. Warhorse, I'm torn on right now. I do like Warhorse. I like him being able to carry an ally, charge, taking characters into there. 2 for 2. Again, he's. I rarely honestly find that I do carry an ally. I honestly more cast him and swing for the effect. So those charges are good. As you can see, this deck is very, very fire heavy. Reason being is Jihad obviously is huge. Wild Fanatic is just a staple card in this deck. I've got 4 of because it is just the two mana, two attack, charge. Again, we're trying to get across the board as fast as we can. Um, Air. I actually just put these guys in. The Spectral Stalkers. They have Void Walk, um, so they can move obviously to unoccupied spaces on the board next to their avatar, ideally, without sights in them. Um, I don't know. I need to play test a bit more with the Spectral Stalkers. Um, the Snallygaster. I do run two of those. They are 3 mana, 3 attack creature with the +1 movement. So, you know, you get your one side in front of you, play there. In theory, you can get right through to the avatar. Obviously, with once you start getting your means to get across the board fast, they're good. So as you can see, this deck really is built about speed and attacking every turn, swinging at that avatar. Most decks, obviously, that I find anyway. Again, I'm pretty new to this game. I'm still learning, but I see a lot of people attacking sites consistently, and that's great. This deck, you don't want to attack sites at all. Obviously, if you don't have any other options, you can, but you can. I only have one of this card, the Sphere of Animosity. I do want a second one for this deck, so I only have one in here at the moment. I'll probably end up cutting something out of here as we get into it. But avatars here can't leave, heal, or be defended. So if you can get that over near the avatar, their avatar's stuck there until they can get rid of that. So boy, it's brutal when you get it onto their avatar, especially early on, and then you start coming from behind or get a jihad out there as well. It can be absolutely devastating. Um, Summoning Sphere, you got to have the 3 Summoning Spheres in the deck. Such a good card. You may summon minions to affected sites. So you throw that out there. You get 1 or 2 on their board. Obviously, um, you want to get a Summoning Sphere, a Magellan Globe, Jihad. You need something like that early. So I try to run as many of these effects as possible to get your guys out there. Such a good card um, in this deck. Renatus Trueblood, I'm just trying. I've got one of in the deck right now. It's an airborne. Um, I like it for the healing effect. It is a little bit expensive for what it does, but the fact that it can move diagonally across the board and the fact that it can heal me for 4 when it does strike. If they take the damage off the interrogator as well, you're talking about um, what is that, an 11-point swing because they go down 4, possibly 7, and you go up 4. You know, that can be huge. 11-point swing if it does work that way in your favor. And the Dapperville Vampires are basically the exact same thing, right? They're basically the same card. Damage dealt by Dapperville Vampire strikes heal you. Um, Now Renatus only does units where the Dapperville Vampires just their strikes in general heal you. Um, One card I'm debating on, and I had it here initially, and I pulled out was Desecrate, to kind of throw off their mana base, but I really went to focus strictly on the damage. Um, Grapple Shot is awesome. An ally shoots a projectile. If it hits a unit, it drags that unit to its location. The obvious target is the avatar. You pull it to you, it strikes it. So that's 1 strike. Then you can attack it. That's 2 strikes on it right there. So you're getting double activations from your interrogator. 'Cause, 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 'c That's pretty damn good. So I run three of these, and I have one in the collection as a toolbox card. So basically, in theory, I've got six of those in the deck. Um, the Black Plague. This is a card I'm just running kind of for shits and giggles. I don't know. I think it's pretty good though, honestly. It's one of those you put out there, like if you can Sphere of Animosity and then Black Plague, they're stuck there, and anything they summon there is gonna die, or their weakest creature is gonna die every turn. On your turn, obviously. It's not that expensive. It's 4 mana, 2 air threshold. We'll get to I've never had a threshold issue with this deck either, which is pretty good. And then the last card for creatures, I have two Phase Assassins, Voidwalk, and Stealth. So that's another one of those cards that whenever he enters the void, he gains stealth. So if we're struggling to get Magellan's Globes online or our means to basically warp over there, Phase Assassin is not a bad card to walk through the void. He becomes stealth, basically sneaks up behind the avatar, and does his thing. Um, Before we get to the lands, we'll go through the collection. Obviously, we have the three toolboxes, so that's critical here. Zap, I think, is in everybody's toolbox collection, right? I mean, it's the finisher. You deal the 1 damage anywhere on the board. It's the way you win the game if you need to. Murder of Crows. Again, it's an ordinary. You can go get, deal 1 damage to all minions on the surface. And then you can cast it again from your cemetery. I play it mainly for those Necromancer games or that's really it. um, Angry Mob. Um, just going to, yeah, kill target adjacent, unique, or elite. Um, actually, I don't even know. Yeah, that one needs to come out. I'm not sure why that's in there, to be honest with you. Um, Hellhounds. I do have the site that summons the Hellhounds. What is it called? It's this one here, the Molten Mar. Um, just free creatures are not bad. So I believe I got 2 Molten Mars and 2 Hellhounds. Displace target, teleport target minion, artifact, or one diagonal step. It's just a good way to get creatures in, out, across the board. It's a circumstance. It's a card you don't want in your main deck, but there are circumstances where it has come into play. Gift of the Serpent. Give an allied minion lethal the spell, draw a spell. So it's a cantrip, replaces itself. Uh, in those circumstances where you've got a big beast come up, something that you just can't deal with, into a box of Gift of the Serpent, sacrifice a little haste creature, and you're good to go. Disenchant, another staple of the collection. Destroy all auras and artifacts at target location up to 2 steps away. There's a lot of stuff out there that just causes a mess, so I actually have 2 disenchants in there. Um, I don't know that I need to, but I do have 2, and then I keep the 1 grapple shot in there as well. So that is the collection. Yeah, I'm not sure why that angry mob ended up in there. That might have been, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, um, then we'll get to the lands, the sites. Sorry, I'm a magic guy, so I say lands still. But Mirror Realm is just an amazing card. Obviously, it enters the realm as a copy of another nearby site. So there's many sites we want to copy of ours or of theirs. City of Traders, it's just a good ramp card. Again, we're a very fast deck. We don't mind letting creatures into our realm. minions into our realm so much, so I don't mind if they cast something there. That's the downside, is they can cast minions there. If you're casting minions there, you're not defending where I am, so no issues with that at all. Wuthering Heights is a great card as well. Once on your turn, you may fly a minion atop here to a nearby site. Again, it's just a great way to. It's free movement. Free movement is good. This is a killer site in Interrogator. Um, so Genesis. So when it enters, you may cast minions with 2 less power to any site this turn. I do run all 4 spore sprouts because I do have mini minions. The um Hot Wheel, the Red Mane Hyenas, the War Horses, the Wild Fanatics. Uh, so yeah, there's a decent amount of creatures. I may need to think about those vampires and lowering some costs just a little bit because that is such a good card. Um, I do run one of each of the towers: the Lone Tower, the Dark Tower, and the Gothic Tower. They're free ramp for the turn. They just give me the air threshold, but they're very powerful. I just run one of each of those for their abilities because if it's the only Gothic Tower you control, you get +1 mana this turn. And all the towers read that way. I do run Vesuvius. If you have 3, you can sacrifice it. Each unit occupying nearby sites takes 3 damage. Um, it's just a good way to protect your avatar. Very small board wipe. It's very versatile. I do like that card a lot. River of Blood. I think I run 3 of those. Um, all healing is halved, rounded down. Again, we're a very aggressive deck. We do not want um, our enemies to heal. If our healing is rounded down a little bit, that's fine. Again, we're aggressive. We want the game to end fast, so we don't want them to heal on any of those Healy type decks. I do run 1 Road to Perdition. Target nearby evil gains or loses 1 power this turn. We have a lot of evil minions, so that's nice. The Molten Mar, when it opens, we cast the Hellhounds, so I run 2 of those, and then we can mirror image one of them if need be to get us another Hellhounds out. Again, free minions are not bad. You only need 2 threshold to do it. The Core Crematory, it's a unique. If a card would be placed in a cemetery, banish it instead. We do often have 4 threshold. That's not a problem. We don't cast from our graveyard at all with this deck, so it's very useful. Very useful. The Funeral Pyre. Banish up to 3 cards from 1 cemetery. Again, it's graveyard hate. There's nothing wrong with graveyard hate in this game. You don't want to have recursion if you don't need it, and it hits our fire threshold. Active Volcano, self-explanatory. 2 fire thresholds there. So, again, very fire-heavy deck. We run 3 of those. I do run 2 Valley of Delights. Such a good card. Such beautiful artwork as well. Valley of Delight says choose 1 of any color, and the site provides that permanently. So it will always use that as the threshold. I'm hoping this is staying in focus, guys. And then lastly, we've got the 3 runes. They are basically the dual land for fire and air. They provide 1 of each threshold, and that's what they do. So, again, the real strategy with this deck is get in fast, get in hard, hit them, punch them in the face. That's how you win the game. I'm still working on it. I'm thinking about cutting possibly all of the vampires for a few just faster creatures. The whole thing with this deck is you want to be drawing and rotating your creatures. It doesn't matter if they die. If you're able to draw, uh, the you are giving some agency to your opponent with this deck by allowing them to have the option of you draw a card or 3 life, but that won't last long. Once you hit them a few times in the face, especially if you grapple shot them and pull them over and smack them twice or who knows more, it can get really ugly really fast. You can also grapple shot backwards with Magellan's Globe, grabbing them from right there and pulling them through. Um, Obviously, Magellan's Globe is universal for them as well. They can start flooding backwards, but it's it really your deck is set up to abuse it, where theirs is usually not. So anyway, that is my favorite deck at the moment, the Interrogator. I really, really enjoy playing that. I need to get some more reps in. I really probably will play around a bit more. Like I said, probably thinking about cutting the vampires. Um, but other than that, though, I really do enjoy it. I do have the Necromancer. I've got a mono water deck, Necromancer deck that is fun. But this deck, I really enjoy the Interrogator. I think he is my favorite at the moment. But I did just pull the Seer, so I have not built Seer yet. I think I really like that where you get to just automatically scry every turn. I'm thinking about building a 4 color Seer deck where you can run a lot of the multicolor stuff and a lot of the basically you have full control over you're seeing twice as many cards if you want to, which is huge in this game where there's not a ton of draw. So, and that's why I like the Interrogator as well. Is there's not a ton of draw in this game, when you do draw cards, it can be quite expensive. But the Interrogator um, really does handle that for you. So, anyway, guys, that's it. That is my first deck run through for you. I'll happily show you the water deck in the next couple of days as well, and then hopefully we get some gameplay going. We got I've got the new setup. I've got a gaming area here. I want to bring in some friends, or we go to the game store and record some games for you guys because I love this game and I want to play it. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.